Good morning, students. I hope you are all fine and staying home and safe. My name is Sridhar. I am TGT Math from TSWRS, Hydernagar. Before actually going into the topic, I would like to share a small story from you. The story goes like this. Once upon a time in a village, there was an old man. He had only 2 kids and he had very little money. But he was very poor, so that in the land that he had, as you can see in the slide, in the land that he had, he started digging holes and sow some seeds in that. And the next thing what will happen? The next thing that will happen is the seeds started growing, right? And the germination process took place. And in a few years, they have grown into huge big trees. Look at that pictures, children. As you can see the pictures, probably you started feeling hungry now, right? Okay. Now after growing these fruits, he then started the business of selling these fruits, and he earned a lot of money from that, and he lived happily with his kids. Now let us revisit the story again. What actually happened? As you can see in the last slide, you have seen a tree, right? And where are the fruits? The fruits are to the branches at the top of the tree. Now where are the roots? Of course, underneath you have roots. Now my question to you is, what is the height of the tree? How we can represent the height of this tree? For example, if I say it as 5 meters, you must have already seen this, positive numbers, counting numbers. Okay, we'll come back to that later. Now how can I represent this depth of the roots? How deep is this roots? Can I use the same numbers here? Can I represent this also in this way? Obviously not. Why? Can you tell? Yes, we will see why. These numbers are represented in the form of negative numbers. So we need a new set of numbers here. Here we need a new set of numbers. Why we are using new set of numbers? Because if you see, this is your ground. This is your ground level. Where is the tree? The tree is to the top of it, that is above the ground. But where are the roots? The roots are below the ground. So in order to show the roots which are below the ground, you have to use negative numbers, because it is in opposite to the above the ground. So now you are using here positive numbers. Yes, children. Now we are using here positive numbers, which are nothing but counting numbers, as you have seen in the previous classes, which are called as set of natural numbers. Now if you consider this ground as 0 level, and if you include this 0 to the set of positive numbers, what you get? You get whole numbers. I hope you remember this all. You can give clap for yourself, because for remembering these. Now if I include negative numbers as well, what will I get? As you have seen already, positive numbers and 0 is a collection together called as whole numbers. But if I include negative numbers also into this, what will I get? Will I get a new set of numbers? Yes, I will get a new set of numbers, that is nothing but integers. The set of numbers that we have is called as integers. That is what we are going to see in our today's class. Not just that, we are also going to see some basic operations on integers. So we will see these two things in our class today. So what have we learned? So integers are group of positive numbers. Yes, a group of positive numbers, and 0 and negative numbers. Now integers are represented by the letters I or Z. I because it is the starting letter of this word integers, and Z because it comes from a German word Zahlen. Okay children, this is what we have learned. We will move to the next one. I would like to show a small thing. Take a look at these 2 glasses of water. If you consider the present level of water as 0, and if I start adding water into the other glass, what happened? The water level has increased, isn't it? And in this glass, the water level has decreased. So this can be considered as example for integers as well. Now the next time you are using a water bottle, you are taking a water bottle and drinking water or filling it up, you are actually learning integers. Okay. Now where do we find these integers? There are a lot of examples. I would like to show a few. Take a look at this slide, children. If you can look at this slide, what do you find? You find that it is, the first one that you find is a group of these numbers, right? So this, if you have 2, 1, 0 and -1, where do you see these? Yeah, when you go to big malls and buildings, you see lift, right? In that lift you have these numbers. -1, if you press, where you will go? You will actually go to a floor which is below the ground. Probably it will be a parking area. Now if you see the temperature in cold areas, if it is, you must have heard in your weather reports, it says 10 degrees below 0 degrees Celsius. That means it is below 0. So it is negative integer. Here also you are using negative integers. Now take a look at this. What is that you see here? A rocket or a satellite launch. During the countdown also, they will start from -10, -9, -8. Not just that, even when you are celebrating your new year on December 31st, before 12 o'clock, you will start your countdown, right? 10, 9, 8, and then you move to 0, and then you go forward to +1, +2, +3. Here also, if you see, measuring your high BP, low BP, you must have heard about high BP and low BP. Here actually it is not that integers are being used, negative integers are not being used. I just gave you this for example to understand the meaning of integers. Okay children, now let us see what are the smallest integers and what are the biggest integers in this. Do we have a smallest integer and do we have a greatest integer? That is what we are going to see now. In the previous session you have already seen what is a number line, so I don't think that I need to have a lot of discussions here. So if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are all natural numbers, right? And if you add a 0 to it, you get a whole numbers. Now if I add the new set of numbers, -1, -2, -3, now I get the number line which represents whole numbers. What do I get? I get a number line which represents whole numbers, this one, and these are negative numbers. So this represents our integers. Now can I say where -3 as the smallest integer? And can I say that 6 as the greatest integer? Can I do? No. If you see clearly, this is being extended on the left side and this also being extended on the right side continuously. So there is no such thing of negative. Smallest negative number I cannot say, and greatest also I cannot say. Greatest integer I cannot say, and smallest integer also I cannot say. But in case of natural numbers, can we say? Yes, 1 is the smallest natural number and 0 is the smallest whole number. But in case of integers, you cannot actually tell what is the smallest and what is the greatest. But you can change the order. You can write in order. Let it be ascending or descending order. For example, 3 and 6. Which is smaller? 3 is smaller than 6, because as you know, You must have already learnt in the previous class. As you go towards the right side, the value increases by 1, and you move towards left side, the value decreases by 1. So as 3 is first, then you got 6. So 3 is smaller than 6. And if I take negative 2, 2 and 0. Now can I write this in order? What is coming first in this? Minus 2. You have to move from left to right. Then comes 0. Then what is the next one that you have? 2. Yes. So now of these 3 given integers, which is the smallest? Minus 2. Then which is the biggest? Plus 2 of these given integers. So like this we can change the order. We can write the order of the given integers. Let it be, it can be ascending or it could be descending as well. So now let us move to the next concept. What is the next concept that we have seen? Okay, the basic operations. We are now seeing the basic operations on integers. You have 4 operations as you have already seen, right? What are those 4 operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We will see one after the other. First, addition. Okay, so now when you are adding, okay, if it is a positive integer, you move towards right side. To which side? Right side. If it is a negative integer, okay, you move towards your left side. Now let us take an example, 3 and 5. Clear? Now we will draw the number line. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, negative 1, negative 2 and negative 3. Clear? Now you start from 3, you move on to the right side. Which side? Because you are adding a positive integer, you move right side. How many times you are supposed to move? 3 or 5? 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where did you stop? You stopped at plus 8. So the answer for this is positive 8. Now let us take one more example, minus 3 and plus 3. Okay. Now where do you start from? You start from minus 3. Again you are adding a positive integer. So which side you will move? You will move to the right side. 3 times you have to jump to the right side. Where you have end up? You have end up at 0. So 0 is your answer. Isn't that simple, children? It is very simple. You have simply moving to the right side if it is a positive integer, and if you are adding a negative integer, you move to the left side. We will take one example for that as well. Minus 1 plus minus 2. Okay, again the number line 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2 and negative 3. So where is minus 1? You have minus 1 here. And now you are adding a negative integer which is minus 2. What is minus 2? A negative integer. So which direction you will move? You will move towards the left side on the number line. So you start from minus 1, you jump 2 times towards the left side and you are ending up at minus 3. So what is the answer for this? Minus 3. So like this you can do this calculations on number line of these 2 integers. Now if you see the answers, what you got? You got plus 8 here, 0 here and negative 3 here. When you get 0, when you are adding 2 integers and when you get 0 as your answer, these 2 integers are called additive inverse. What are those called? Additive inverse of each other. So we will write that as well. So additive inverse, the answer must be, what is that? The answer must be a 0. It should not be any other number. So from minus 3, what is the additive inverse for minus 3? Plus 3. For plus 3, what is the additive inverse? Minus 3. So it is only the change of signs. So like this we can also do subtraction as well. So shall we move on to subtraction? Yes, I hope you are clear with this, because when you are moving, if it is a positive you move right side, if it is negative you move left side. Now in subtraction it is simply reverse. Okay. In subtraction what you will do, if it is a positive, okay, if it is a positive integer that you are subtracting, you actually move towards left side. Okay. If it is negative integer, you should move towards right side on the number line. Let's just take a look at this slide, children. If you look at this slide, okay, just take a look at this slide. If you have 5 here, the first one is 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2, what is the answer? How you will get the answer? So from 5, as you are subtracting a negative integer, which is negative integer or positive integer? It is a positive integer, which is 2. So which side you will move? Towards left side. So 1 time and then 2 times. So where did you stop? You stopped at 3. So 3 is your answer. Now look at the second one. Where you are starting from? Minus 1. Then which side you are going? Towards the left side, because again you are subtracting a positive integer. So you move 2 steps towards the left side, you reach negative 7. So minus 7 is your answer. Now look at the third one. Here you have minus 5, again subtraction, but this time you are doing a subtraction of negative integer. So which side you are supposed to move? You will move to the right side. So start from minus 5, you jump 2 times, that is once, to minus 4, and 2 times to minus 3. So where you are ending up at? You are stopping at minus 3. So minus 3 will be the answer for this. So this is how you can do for subtraction of integers. I hope this addition and subtraction is clear. We'll just go for once again. If it is a positive integer, you move towards right side during addition, and if it is a negative integer, you move towards left side. If it is subtraction, simply reverse. If it is a positive integer, you move towards left side, and if it is a negative integer, you move towards right side on the number line. Is this clear, children? I hope this is clear, because next we will move on to multiplications. So now we will do multiplications. As you have already seen multiplication on number line of these integers as well as that, so we will just finish it directly by taking the positive and negative. Okay, instead of taking 2 positives, which he has already done, so I will take 1 positive and negative, that is 2 times of minus 3. So you just go for 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you start from 0, minus 3 groups you have to make. How many groups you are making? 2 groups. So the value that you got is negative 6. Now we will see another pattern as well. Consider this 4 times of 3. What is 4 times of 3? 12. What is 3 times of 3? 9. Next 2 3s 6. Okay, similarly if I go minus 1 time of, okay, we will start like that only, plus 1 3, 0 times of 3 0, minus 1 times of 3, what will I get? Okay, this is the question mark. Now if you observe this, here it is minus 1. What is the decrease in the number? The decrease is 1. Here you have decrease of minus 3. So the value is decreasing by 3. So what will come next? So it will be 0 minus 3, that is nothing but minus 3. Similarly, if I take the next one, I will get again minus 3 of minus 3, that is minus 6. Now if you see these two, if I took a positive integer and a negative integer, I got negative. If I took a negative integer and a positive integer, again I got a negative. So that only we can write. Minus into plus is minus and plus into minus is minus. Now we will see one more thing as well. So for example, if you take the similar of that, 4 times of minus 3. You have seen already, one is plus, one is minus, you will get a negative value. So minus 12. So if I decrease the value again, 3 times of minus 3, that is 9. 2 times of minus 3, that is 6. Okay, 1 time of minus 3, minus 3. 0 into minus 3, 0. Now what is negative times of minus 3? Minus 1 into minus 3. Now if you see here, again the decrease in the integer is 1. But what is the difference here? It is actually the value is increasing. So it is plus 3 that is being added to the answer. So now what will be the next? 0 plus 3. So you will get a 3. Similarly, if it is minus 2 times of minus 3, you will get plus 6. So what you got here? When you have a negative integer and a negative integer, you actually got a positive integer. Negative integer and negative integer, you actually got a positive integer. So that is what we will write. You already know that it is positive and positive is positive. So this is about multiplication, children. This most of us know, but we don't actually know the what is the logic behind those things, how we got it. This is the pattern that comes, and these are the inferences that we can do. Division also can be done in the same process. If you can look at this slide, children, just have a look at this slide. Same, positive divided by positive, you get a positive quotient, and negative divided by negative, you get positive quotient, and negative divided by positive, you will get negative, and positive divided by negative gives you negative quotient. These are few examples which show us that you get positive and positive when there are same signs, and you get negative when there are different signs. Okay, that is how we can use division as well. Now we will have just a small recap. So what have we learned, children, in our classes today? In the session we learned that integers are collection of positive numbers, 0 and negative numbers. Okay, then we have also seen how to arrange them in order, arranging in ascending order or descending order. Then we went for additions of positive integer, that is, if it is a positive integer, you move towards right. If it is a negative, you move towards left. And then we have seen additive inverse. When do you say additive inverse? If sum of two integers is 0, then one is the additive inverse of the other. Then we did subtraction as well. Positive, we moved left side. Negative, we moved right side. Then we have found these inferences seeing the pattern, which is same for division as well. So this is what we have learned in this class, children. Now it is time for your homework problems. Just as your summer project, just take a look at this slide. Now if you see, the first one shows compute the following, that is a addition problem. Then second, in that bit you have multiplication problem, and third one is division problem. Now if you go for the next one, the next slide, it says collect pictures or record 5 daily life situations. Okay, so that is your homework or summer project for today. Thank you, children. Okay, I hope you liked it, and because you have learned, and now you have a lot of clear picture of integers, because now you have clear idea of integers, because this will give you a lot of hopes if you want to go to the next level when you learn other classes as well. Thank you once again. I also thank our secretary sir for giving us the opportunity to express whatever we have learned, as actually we have done a lot of things here. Okay, integers we have learned, and I hope you have a clear picture of additions, subtractions, multiplications and divisions. Okay, that is it for today, children. I hope you liked it. We'll meet again hopefully, and thank you so much.